What's up, fam? This is Tan, and today we're doing an installation and review for these CarTrimHome heads-up display that they sent me. I mentioned about this in my last video. Today you're seeing a little bit more of my face as I kind of share with you more about things in my life through my channel here. But for today, let's just do a quick unboxing about what you get in this package. So here we got in bag number 1, you actually have the heads-up display unit itself. This is going to be installed in the driver's side speaker in the corner in the dash, which I'll show you later. That's the wires in the back right here. This is also a plug-and-play unit. This also comes with the piggyback wiring harness to allow us to achieve that. So this is basically going to plug into the steering wheel column that has access to the OBD2 sensor that's going to pick up like the miles per hour, the voltage and things like that. So that's what you get in bag number 1. Bag number 2, it looks like it's not directions. I don't think they have directions. I'm going to have to email them and ask them if they have any directions. And if they do, if they could send it to me in English preferably. Because what I have here is written in Chinese, and I'm Vietnamese. I can't read this shit. But my wife is Chinese, and she told me that it is a warranty card. So you do get a 1-year warranty for this product as well. So that's good to know. You get some tools here. You get a flathead. And you get some panel tool removal things. You also get 3 zip ties, and you also get 2, I think this is reflective mirrors that you actually stick onto the windshield to give it maximum effectiveness. If say you're driving in the daytime, this is going to allow the heads-up display unit to be more prominently visible on your windshield. So that's all you get in the bag. Let's go ahead and get right to the installation. All right, so the only tools that I'll be using for this installation is this Phillips screwdriver. Make sure it's long, and this 10mm socket, and maybe this clothes hanger if I need to fish the wire. That's going to be going from that corner all the way into the dash console and come out of the end right here into the steering column. So first step we're going to do is we're going to remove the steering column cover first so we can get access to that wiring harness down here. And what you'll need to do is turn the car on. And once you do that, that'll make the steering wheel accessible to turn. So that's screw number 1 right there you want to take out. I'm going to turn it the other way. Screw number 2 you want to take out. And then right at the bottom here, you should be able to see screw number 3. Just turn the steering wheel all the way to the right. Just take your left leg, just hold it there, and then that'll give you an opportunity to remove this screw right here.
So you don't lose it, just throw it in the cup holder, and then turn the steering wheel all the way to the left side. Put your knee against it so it doesn't slip. Remove the other side.
Alright, now once the 3 screws are removed, just take your 2 hands and put it on both sides of the steering wheel column cover. You see it's already loose right now, and just push it like that. As you pop it, what will happen is this top part can flip right up. There we go. So this part, again, just lean it up like that, and this part should just slide right out. There we go. Put this to the side. All right, you can see my platinum trim here. I already have a heads-up display factory, and so we're going to be installing here. Not much real estate here, so we'll use this tool that they provided for us, and we'll stick it in and just pop it up. Pop this out. Put that to the side, and here, because I do have the premium audio, there's the JBL speakers right here. And what I'll probably do is use that 10mm socket to remove these two bolts right here, so that way I can take this speaker out temporarily, and then that'll give us access to be able to fish the wire from the CarTrimHome HUD down into the steering column.
Get that loose. Not loose as well.
All right, got those bolts out. Now I can just dig out the tweeter here, lift this up, pull this out. I'm not gonna unplug it. I just want to get it out of the way. So I can just twist it. Just kind of set it here for now. There we go. So this is JBL tweet. I want to get access into that area right there. Now it might be easier to show you from the outside looking in, but if I were to peer, cover it without the window glare here, should be able to see it right here. Right in the back there. That's where we're going to fish the wire into. Alright, so I used the clothes hanger, taped it onto the cord that I'll be fishing right into here. It's connected to the HUD right here. And we'll feed this down all the way onto the back. And we'll get this going along the firewall here. I'm going to do this with two hands, but I'll show you what it looks like once it pops through at the bottom here. Alright, so I successfully fished the wire from the heads-up display down to the hole in the back right here, and got it to pop through right here. You see it's still on the wire right now, so I'm just going to take this tape off and then put the tweeter back in, put the HUD in, and then we'll go ahead and wire up the rest of the wires into the steering column. It's not that bad, it's just really cramped spacing here. Just try to hand tighten what I can, and then come back later with the 10mm and then kind of tighten it down a little bit before I put this back on. Okay, so the tweeter's tightened. Now we'll go ahead and pull the wire from the steering column, so that way there's no more excess wire hanging out over here. Hook it under. Should just pop in. There we go. Alright, so let's go ahead and finish off installing the piggyback wiring harness into the steering wheel column, and then we'll zip tie the cables, get it all nice and pretty, and then we'll see how this HUD looks like in action here. So here's the cable that I fished down. We'll go ahead and plug this right into the piggyback harness. Click. And then you comes with a fuse right here. And so this right here is what you're aiming to remove out of the steering column here. There's a clip on the back. You can push it in the back and then pull this out. Once you get that out, plug that into the piggyback. Click. Then you plug the other end of the piggyback back into the steering column here. Alright, so I put a zip tie right here, and I put a zip tie inside here to make sure it doesn't get loosey-goosey on me. So just go in reverse order. Let's go ahead and put everything back together. Stick this steering wheel column cover back on the bottom. Probably gonna need to turn the steering wheel, push it up, there we go. Let's take the top. And this should all just snap back in together here. It may be helpful to take the lower screw and screw it into the bottom of this cover, and that'll make things more aligned. There we go. Snap, crackle, pop. Put the last screw here and the other screw there. We're good to go. All right, so that completes the install of the CarTrimHome heads-up display unit. Moment of truth. Let's go ahead and turn this car on and see what we see. Oops. All right, so it looks like we have the speedometer. It's in miles per hour. All right, so we got some lights flashing here already. Parking assist unavailable. Uh-oh, that is not good. Let's see what we need to do about this here, y'all. Well, for the time being, I don't know if you can see the difference here, but here's the CarTrimHome heads-up display, and there's the Platinum OEM heads-up display. There's a film. I'm not going to put the film on yet until I test this out to see what it looks at nighttime, but so far in the daytime, that's not bad. So for speedometer, let me see here. You can turn it off. Speedometer can be kilometers per hour or miles per hour. And then you have, I think this is the engine coolant temperature. This is in Celsius here. I wonder if we can adjust that to Fahrenheit. This is what I wanted to get this for. This is the battery voltage for the 12 volt. So anything above 14.3 means it's good. So right now it's at 14.4. So having this, just you know, if I'm in the car and my wife is in the mall shopping and I'm just watching movies in the car, just want to pay attention to this where I'm not draining the battery, or just the car sitting in the road for extended periods of time. Since I telework at home, I only drive this car maybe 3-4 miles a day. So just making sure that that I'm keeping an eye on the battery voltage. This here is, I think this is kind of like, you know, the estimated mileage. Here it's in liters per hour. I don't use that, so I'm not going to mess around with that. And then here, I think this might be the RPM. I'm not sure. I would test drive it here, but what I'm more concerned about is this. Having the parking assist unavailable and those lights flashing here. So let's take it for a test drive and we'll see if anything changes here. All right. So right now I'm testing out the speedometer. On the left is CarTrimHome. Straight ahead is OEM. And I can tell that there's maybe a half a second or a 1 second lag for the CarTrimHome for the actual speedometer gauge. I'll make a right turn here. as I was driving, that parking assist notification went away. So I'm hoping that by the time I pull back into my front house, that the proximity sensors should be working and beeping as I get close to like other cars and walls. Because right now it's not displaying it anymore. And we're just going to continue driving here. Just based on this, I am not going to install the reflective film, because the CarTrimHome HUD is plenty bright. It's almost comparable to the Toyota heads-up display, even though in the video it might look like it's flickering, the Toyota one, but both of them are solid right now. All right, so let's go ahead and test it out. Hopefully my parking sensors all work. Maybe all it needed was just getting the car in motion once I unplugged it that one time from the steering column here. All right, let's see here. All right, I'm approaching the front of the house now, hopefully. Do some beeping. Yes. All right. My proximity sensors are working again, so that's good. All right. Let me back up here. All right, y'all. So far so good. So first impressions, I like it so far. Part of me was going to uninstall it if it didn't have any bells and whistles that would point out work for me. But some of the things that I already noticed is when we go on a night drive later, I noticed that at the bottom, it actually had like this cool green RPM meter. So as I revved my motor, here's the hybrid, right? It doesn't have any, like, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 revolutions, but on the CarTrimHome HUD, it did have that RPM meter at the bottom. That was pretty cool. So far so good. I like it. If you want to check this product out, CarTrimHome is sponsoring this video, so I will go ahead and put their product link in the description. And as always, use my code and you can get an extra 7% off. All right, so before I do a night run recording, I wanted to do another one in the daylight, but this time just kind of throw this on for those that were curious how much more visible it would make the heads-up display. So I also am curious that if I start my car again, that I'm not going to get that message about the parking assist. So let's just go ahead and make sure. Okay, nothing. The HUD pops up at miles per hour. I see it just fine. They might look like double vision in the video, but in real life, I can't tell. This is what this looks like. Put some tape on here just to show y'all. What do you think? Does it look brighter to you? I would say that it does look brighter, but it just looks so in the way, you know what I'm saying? Like with that darker tint, but it definitely makes all the digits more brighter for sure. So let's go ahead and take this for another quick roll. All right, so right now I've only turned on the RPM gauge. Accelerate. That's cool, huh? Oops. Gotta pull over for the fire truck. All right. So here's the RPM gauge with the speedometer, side by side with the Toyota factory HUD. Again, you can probably tell there is about a half a second lag between the CarTrimHome and the Toyota HUD. See that? I'm at a complete stop already, and then the CarTrimHome just went down to 0 with that 1 second delay there. So first impressions here, if you have a lower trim Highlander and you don't have a heads-up display and you want to have this on the side, this is a good option. I mean, if you leave it in this mode, you get the miles per hour and you get that RPM gauge at the bottom. Some of the things that I noticed is it also tells you on the heads-up display if you have any doors open. So there's red lights that turn on for the door that is ajar. Alright, so some other things I noticed here that the HUD will display is when you put the parking brake on, we'll have the red notice pop on. It'll also signal left and right as well, so that's cool. And as I mentioned earlier, if you open the door, it'll display which door is open. So there's also engine check lights and stuff like that on, but obviously you would need to have the engine check light to come on for it to display up in here. But what else can I see here? Again, the coolant temperature. Looks like it's only in Celsius. I don't see it in Fahrenheit as an option, but I don't plan on using this that much. I do plan to use this. That is the 12 volt voltage. Currently it's sitting at a nice 14.3, not 14.4. This is the mileage displayed in liters per hour. Probably won't use this because I'm more used to miles per gallon. And this is, I believe, also a mileage calculator as well. I think it reads it liters per every 100 hours. All right, it's nightfall. Let's go ahead and test it out. Turning on the car. So there you have the CarTrimHome HUD on the left. Shows up with the miles per hour. Handbrake is on, that's why you see that red dot there. And you also see the Toyota heads-up display right in the middle right there. Not bad. I like it. Let's go for a ride. Very clear at night without the that film. So for sure I'm going to leave it off. Again, this is the mileage liters per hour, but we don't use that here in America. liters per 100 kilometers. We don't use that here as well. That's if I turn it off. But I believe what'll still turn on is the RPM once we get the green light again. Yep, there it is. So if you just want the RPM without the miles per hour, you can set it up that way too. All right, so here's Ton's takes, my final impressions of the CarTrimHome heads-up display. If you already have a platinum trim and you already have a HUD, this would probably be a novelty purchase if you wanted it. For me, because I have a hybrid, what will benefit me is, again, having this battery voltage gauge. That way I can just kind of keep an eye on my battery levels whenever I feel like it. Besides that, that's up to you if this is something that you see is beneficial. If you have any lower trims, I think it would be a solid purchase to be able to have the miles per hour, RPM gauge, and a bunch of other metrics that you can be able to see at eye level. So that way you don't have to keep on glancing down like this. So one thing I want to mention is in the package, it didn't have the instructions. And as I mentioned earlier, I did reach out to the people at CarTrimHome, sent them an email while I was doing the installation. And they actually sent me an email back in the middle, maybe like within an hour. And so they did forward me the PDF with the instructions. So I will put these instructions in the video description, so that way you can read up on it, so you can really get a better feel of all the different features that it has. Just from what I can see from reading this, there's some things that I didn't know that was possible. So you can take a look here, and these are some of the symbols that can be displayed on the HUD itself. Again, hours, fuel consumption, voltage unit, water temperature unit, the vehicle speed unit, fatigue driving reminder, that coffee sign, engine check light, overspeed reminder. Yes, this can actually be programmed for that. Let's see here. Right here, for the parameters prompt, you can actually adjust the brightness, the fuel consumption correction meter, the rotating speed alarm, overspeed alarm. You can make some adjustments so that way if you actually are driving over the speed limit that you set by 5 miles or whatever you want to set it at, this can actually capture that and then make an alert noise to make you slow down. But I'm not doing that. You can also switch off and on the sounds. It also has a tire pressure learning feature here. That's cool. So again, if this is something you're interested in, this video is sponsored by CarTrimHome. So I will make sure to put the product link in the description. And if you use my code, you can get 7% off if you decide to pick up this HUD unit right here. Anyhow, I got some cool videos coming up. I'm not going to tell you what the next one is. I'm just going to surprise you all. But again, I appreciate everyone that's been watching my videos. I've been looking at the video analytics, and we definitely are continuing an uptrend. And so we're getting closer and closer to 700 subscribers. My goal is to get to 1,000. And I'll be honest with y'all, I am just a regular guy. I got a full-time job. I'm a full-time dad, and I'm busy in life. And so making these videos was actually part of my self-care plan, because I don't know about you, but the last 2 years with this pandemic, I've been working from home. Haven't been able to see a lot of my friends, haven't seen my coworkers. And so it did have a mental toll on me. So I said, fuck it. I'm going to go do something to make myself happy. And when I bought this car, I decided that, you know what, I'm going to see if I can create a community. If there's other people out there that are into their Highlanders or just like to soup up their cars, then I'll post some videos, and if it attracts people, it attracts people. But I'm not looking to be some big YouTube star. I just want to put something out there and see how big we can grow this community. Again, if you like my videos, continue to like and subscribe. Share this video with as many people that have Highlanders. This is for 4th generation Highlanders. I'll continue to put out content as long as people reach out to me. More and more sponsors are reaching out to me, which is pretty exciting for me. But again, it's a kind of a balancing act with my work and being a full-time dad and a husband, and I'm putting these YouTube videos together and editing them. It's a lot of work. So I appreciate y'all. Much love. Take care. Peace.